the United States of America, and the Commonwealth of Australia, a bond that can be traced back to the battlefields of World War I. In 1918, at Les Hamel on the Western Front, 4 companies of the American Expeditionary Force fought under the command of Australian General John Monash. Les Hamel was the Americans' first offensive action of the war under the command of a foreign general, and the first time Australians and Americans had fought side by side. To honour the American troops he was leading, Monash set the date of the battle for the 4th of July 1918.
In the battle, Americans and Australians fought together with distinction. 14 of the Americans who fought at Hamel were awarded British military decorations. The Americans and the Australians trained together before the attack, developing such a bond that Americans were heard to say that, if necessary, they would sooner change uniforms to fight with the Australians than let their new buddies down. Together, they achieved victory in just 93 minutes and helped to turn the tide of war against the Germans.
2018 marks the centenary of that battle and of the deep and enduring bond between our two countries. That battle on the Western Front was the opening chapter in a story of mateship, a quality valued by Australians as standing for loyalty, friendship, trust and sacrifice. This partnership, based on mutual respect, cooperation and shared values, has joined the United States and Australia as allies in every major conflict since that day in Les Hamel. We fought together again in the Second World War, when almost 1 million American service personnel passed through Australia, campaigning together on land, sea and air to final victory in the war in the Pacific, fighting side by side for shared beliefs. The bond was strengthened in Korea, in Vietnam, Iraq and Afghanistan. In every conflict where they met, Australian and American service personnel made lifelong mates.
The military alliance endures today. American and Australian armed forces work together in Iraq and Syria to combat the threat of terrorism and are working, exercising and training in each other's countries. The U.S. Marine Corps rotation in Darwin and the large number of Australians currently working across 31 American states are dramatic examples of a relationship that was formalized in 1951 when both nations signed the ANZUS Treaty, which remains a cornerstone of Australia's national security and foreign policy. The treaty pledges each country to come to the support of the other when under attack, and on the 11th of September 2001, Australian Prime Minister John Howard invoked the treaty for the first time.
Dear Mr. President, the Australian government and people share the sense of horror experienced by your nation. You can, however, be assured of Australia's resolute solidarity with the American people at this most tragic time.
A special mateship may have been forged in war, but it has prospered and grown stronger in peace. A shared love of freedom, democracy and diversity, a determination to improve, succeed and innovate. These qualities have seen our countries grow together.
From our leaders to our students, for decades, Americans and Australians have crossed the ocean to each other's shores, sharing knowledge and passion. We are scientists and researchers. We work together to reach the moon and out to the stars. We are pioneers, explorers, and innovators. We are artists and creators. We are sporting fans and sporting rivals. We are investors and important trading partners. The US-Australia Free Trade Agreement that came into force over 10 years ago has doubled US exports to Australia, and American investment down under has helped Australia to become one of the largest exporters into Asia.
The tourism exchange between Australia and the United States helps build a strong human bridge that makes mateship real nearly 100 years after Les Hamel. From the Western Front in France to the first steps on the moon, this mateship reflects our shared optimism and our common vision of a bright future. This mateship, forged on a battlefield 100 years ago, has built an unbreakable foundation. On that foundation, we will build the bond of friendship for the next 100 years. We are mates.